biggest thing was, me quitting on my team or me faking the injury. Anybody who knows me, and they know what I'm about, I would never quit on anything, and I would never fake an injury. I've never been a quitter. I've always been somebody who's pushed through the end. I've had injuries before, but I've never said anything about them. I played through them. I played through a lot of things. So I've never been a quitter, and that's about it. Never been a quitter.
And after all that, you said there's going to be so much pressure on the Lakers. What about the pressure on you as an individual?
Well, I'm just going to do what I do best: have fun and play ball. I'm not going to try to step out of that and be somebody I'm not. I'm going to have fun and take on anything with my head held high. And the cape has been in the back in the hotel just chilling, So I'm going to bring the cape out and iron it and get it ready to go.
Dwight, you're ready to put up a lot of these stats before, but is there an aspect of your game that when you look at the personnel that will be around you that you feel like is going to be enhanced?
Well, my job, right now is to be the best defender I can for this team. I think that's one of the reasons why, the Lakers, wanted me here to defend, be a big presence on the defensive end. And I've always been a guy that likes to dominate, both ends of the floor. And that's not having the ball or anything like that, but just controlling the paint on both ends. And that's what I want to continue to do here.
Well, you said you're ready to finish when you got there. You think you'll be ready for the season opener or 100% by the beginning of the year?
Well, hopefully I am, but until then I'm going to continue to rehab, continue to get my back stronger, get my mind stronger, and continue to learn about L.A.
Dwight, can you describe the moves that you have made this offseason and what you think about it? Maybe if you were on any other team, you would make this better?
Well, like I said, I haven't really paid attention to anything, I'm just happy that I'm here, I'm happy to be a part of the Lakers organization.
Mike, you're always been a smiling, joyful player, and I would say Kobe's not on the floor a guy who smiles a lot. Who do you think is going to rub off more? Are you going to bring more of a JoJo side out of Kobe, or is he going to bring more of the hero side?
Well, Kobe's going to be Kobe, and I'm going to be Dwight, probably off the court, I might add a couple years, but Kobe's going to be Kobe, and he's going to be who he is. There's no stopping that. He's played with somebody like myself. I'm not going to try to change who he is, and I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to have fun and do what I do. And that's what's gotten me here today. So I'm not going to change it.
Your Kobe imitation was tremendous.
Oh, thank you, by the way.
Van Gundy,
All right.
of course, legendary. Who are you going to work on the voices of the Lakers? Do you anyone in mind that you can start imitating?
Probably Pal. After hearing him a while, I might work on that one, and then I would have to go with Run. That's going to be tough, but I think I can do it.
Dwight, after you waived your early termination option in March, what changed since then to make you think that was the right choice?
Like I said earlier, today is about the Lakers. There's no need to go back, to what happened with the Magic. I've had 8 great years in Orlando, and I'm going to miss the fans. I'm going to miss the city, but it's time for my change for me. And it's time for a change in Orlando, so this is the first day.
Have you touched on it a little bit? Have you been recruited basically when you go to the hotel lobby or you go out to get something? Basically people just going up to you and saying, you have to come here.
It's been crazy, at the hotel, every day, the first couple weeks of rehab, I can only walk, and I would just walk around, the place where I'm staying, and just people from all over, would just stop the mailman every day. Little kids, I remember as a girl, she just ride her bike every day, and you gotta come to the Lakers, you just gotta do it. and she would start singing, and she would just tell everybody, Dwight's my new best friend. We just we had fun, just walking around, just people here just being so nice, and it's just great. And they did a great job of recruiting, and just thank you guys for everything that you did.
So why move out of the hotel now that you're going to be here for some time?
I don't know. I kind of like the hotel. I kind of like it.
When you talk about wanting to learn more about LA as you go along here, I know you've been to a few Dodger games. Have you had a chance to look at the LA sports scene now? The Kings just won a Stanley Cup. You guys are great. Clippers are better, and the Eagles, Dodgers, everybody.
Well, I'm just looking forward to just having fun here in the city, doing what I do best on the court, but off the court, supporting the other teams here. The Dodgers games have been great. My favorite part is singing during the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. That's, for some reason, it's extra fun, now. I haven't really been to a baseball game until now, so it's been a lot of fun. I don't know what's going to happen, but as of right now, I'm excited, and got to learn how to block all those, boos or whatever may happen out. But every place that I go to, whatever city I'm at, I've always had fun. I love the fans in every city, the boos, the cheers, whatever they say. It's all fun. It's all love. And I know their job is to distract us, so the other team can win, but I'm just looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. Superman. That's my name.
Well, it certainly took a lot longer than most deals take. Obviously, this has been going on for quite some time. We actually had discussions prior to the trade deadline back in March. Nothing really ever got to the point where we felt there'd be a deal. In fact, to credit Rob Hennigan, the GM of Orlando, it got to the point where, quite frankly, for me, it was frustrating. And what he was doing was, his job, which was to sort out and seek out the best possible deal for the organization. So up until 2 days ago, I didn't feel there would be a deal to get Dwight here to Los Angeles. But on Wednesday afternoon, we got a call from Rob making a proposal, and here it is, less than 48 hours later. Yesterday was a pretty fast-moving, day negotiating. But last night we had a 4-team conference call, and we all agreed to keep it quiet, the 4 teams. And 20 minutes later on my ride home, somebody had the exact deal on the radio. But having done this for so many years, there really wasn't a comfort level until this morning. We had the trade call at 9 o'clock and the deal was done.
Overall, are you amazed at what it took to get to this point and that you actually got it done for the guys you were able to get to unload? We've heard all along you're probably going to have to give up Ty, you're going to have to give up this, that, that guy. Are you almost amazed that it happened this way?
The organization came here in 1960 and the Bus family, and I recognize Jeannie's here and Jimmy, and I believe Jesse's here. I didn't know if I saw Joey or not. Are they here? Okay, but since they bought the franchise in 1979, it just seems like they've always figured out a way to make good things happen. And, there's an expression that it starts at the top and I think that expression holds true here.
Dwight, before you came down, we saw you upstairs. We saw you upstairs holding the trophies. What was going through your mind when you were holding those championship trophies?
Well, the first thing was we come here in practice. They tell us that those are not the real, trophies. So when I got up there, they said those are the trophies. I was like, well, let me touch one. So I didn't know that those were the real trophies. So that's why I was up there, touching the trophies and making some wishes.
No more home runs.
One last question for Dwight. Western Division, Dwight, looking at the starting five on paper, where do you rank the starting five against any other starting five in the game?
Well, I just want to win, and I can't get into the rankings and all that stuff. But like I said, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have a fresh start here. I want to thank everybody who's been with me during this whole process. Everybody that has been a part of me,